AEW President Tony Khan revealed his important announcement last night on AEW Dynamite. Did it live up to the hype? We'll talk about that. MJF cuts a promo sending a message to Brian Danielson's children, but he also reveals that his fiancée has left him in what was actually the truth from the AEW World Champion. Who won the AEW Revolution Tag Team Battle Royale? We'll talk about that. Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks is now official for AEW Revolution. Lance Archer will return to AEW in-ring action on AEW Rampage this week. Has the Forbidden Door pay-per-view date been accidentally revealed? We've got details on that. Orange Cassidy retains his AEW All-Atlantic Championship. Enzo Amore is referenced on Dynamite last night. The AEW Women's World Championship match is made official for Revolution 2, and Mercedes Monet signs with a big talent agency. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling. And let's start off talking about Tony Khan and his important announcement. We have seen several major announcements, important announcements, or just general announcements been teased over the however many years AEW's been going around for now, since 2019. So that's 4 years. And every single time it feels like every time the announcement is made that an announcement is coming, people start to roll their eyes more and more because some suggest that it's a ratings grab. Some say that the announcements don't live up to the hype. So what was this week's announcement? Well, there was a lot of speculation and people didn't really know. It must be said, prior to Dynamite last night, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful did tease that the announcement could be due to a reality show. They did put out a story saying they weren't sure if it was the announcement. They did confirm that an upcoming announcement was going to be happening sooner or later. Sean Ross Sapp said that Fightful had learned an announcement regarding the upcoming All Elite Wrestling reality series is coming. AEW was working on the series late last year. As Fightful Select had reported, it's worth noting that the Matman Radio's Andrew Zarian had a lead on this announcement earlier this week. Those that Fightful spoke to during the filming said they were giving the option of whether or not they wanted to participate, and that it would take a look at some behind the scenes situations in the company. Kathleen Finch, Chief Lifestyles Brand Officer for Warner Bros. Discovery, said in October that Warner Bros. Discovery wanted to do more with AEW. Production for the series began shortly thereafter as cameras were at AEW Dynamite in Baltimore in early November. And indeed, that was the announcement. With Tony Khan set to break an important announcement, Khan actually only briefly appeared alongside Renee Paquette, instead passing the announcement off to another. With Khan saying that the announcement impacted numerous top stars, he said that he felt it was best delivered by a top star like the man standing here, Adam Cole. Cole said that starting in March, there is going to be a weekly 1-hour television series right here after AEW Dynamite on TBS. AEW All Access is set to provide a, quote, unfiltered look at All Elite Wrestling like you've never seen it before, including Adam Cole and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. The same night that AEW All Access debuts, Adam Cole announced he will also be making his in-ring return on the preceding AEW Dynamite. Now, no concrete date was provided, rather you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. Now, when it comes to more details surrounding this new reality series, a press release from AEW has been released giving more details which have emerged about the upcoming AEW reality series. Per the press release, quote, billed as the ultimate behind-the-scenes experience for fans, the series will feature Adam Cole, Dr. Britt Baker, Sammy Guevara, Tay Conti, the Young Bucks, Saraya, Wardlow, and Eddie Kingston, along with AEW CEO, General Manager, and Head of Creative Tony Khan, with Tony Khan himself discussing the series by saying, quote, we're always looking for new ways to engage with fans and give them unique access to our incredible talent. With the new AEW All Access series, they'll have a chance to peek behind the curtain and into the lives of their favorite wrestlers like never before. To show the human side of some of these larger-than-life figures will give fans a rare perspective about who these wrestlers are when the cameras aren't typically on. The series, as I mentioned, is set to debut in March 2023 without a finite premiere date announced at the time of recording this video. As one would probably say, I think it's pretty unanimous to say, was this a real important announcement that needed a lot of hype? Was it anything that needed all of this discussion? Was it something that needed TV time? It could have just been a Twitter post and a press release. Instead, it felt like a ratings ploy to me, certainly. Whether or not it will reflect in the ratings or not this week, we'll have to wait and see. Even if it does, it doesn't bode well for the future when you do have a legitimate important announcement and people don't tune in. The phrase, the fable is the boy who cried wolf, and it kind of feels like that, certainly. Now, MJF, the AEW World Champion, is set to face Brian Danielson at AEW Revolution for the AEW World Championship in a 60-minute Iron Man match, and MJF took the mic on last night's Dynamite to directly address Brian Danielson's two preschool-age children with WWE legend Brie Bella. In a bold move ahead of their 1-hour Iron Man match at Revolution, MJF has taken time to address his oratory exhibition to Bryan Danielson's children. After telling his own villain story, late Tale of Woe, regarding losing everyone who's ever claimed to love him, including a fiancée, we'll talk about that in just a second, MJF told Bryan Danielson he hated him because he takes his life for granted. Acknowledging the jealousy he feels towards Danielson for his beautiful family, MJF then took things to a whole new low, speaking directly to 5-year-old Birdie and 2-year-old Buddy by name. MJF addressed the camera as though he was speaking to Danielson's children. While MJF delivered a scathing description of what he was going to do to their beloved dada, he also entered the ring and left himself in prime position to get attacked by Danielson, with a multitude of security attempting to pull them apart. Both men brawled, but it was Danielson who laid a vicious elbow on the champion near the end of the segment to hammer home the point. Now MJF has truly awoken the American Dragon. But arguably, it's these sort of villain origin stories that are getting the most attention. Of course, previously, it was the driving and throwing the ex-girlfriend into the seat when the police arrived. And last night, it was the line about having a fiancée that left him, with MJF and Brian Danielson set to collide in an Iron Man match at Revolution on March 5th for the AEW World Championship. The two exchanged words during that promo segment we just spoke about. On the episode of Dynamite, MJF would reveal, quote, "I'm the guy who got left stranded by anyone I've ever opened up to. I'm the guy who got thrown away like trash by anyone who's ever claimed they love me. And then I met a girl who changed my outlook on every single person on this planet. My dream girl, a girl I fell in love with. She convinced me that not everyone in this world is bad. So I became the man who got down on one knee and told her, that girl, I wanted to start a family with her. I wanted to make a home with her. I wanted to have children with her. And do you know what she did, Bryan Danielson? She left me. She left me, Bryan. She left me because I'm unlovable, and the only thing I have in this life that I can trust, the only thing I have in this world that makes me feel unconditional love is this Triple B, that being the Big Burberry bout. The AEW World Championship is the only thing stopping me grabbing a fistful of pills and calling it a day." Heavy stuff, certainly. The promo, it transpires, wasn't a scripted piece of fiction, but rooted in reality, as Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful revealed on social media. He wrote, quote, "The MJF promo had a lot of truth to it. Normally wouldn't cover that type of thing, but he and his fiancée did have a split, as was referenced on last night's AEW Dynamite, or tonight's AEW Dynamite when he tweeted it. MJF became engaged to Naomi Rosenblum in September 2022 after dating since mid-2020, but it would appear that they're no longer together. So they say the best promos and the best stories are the ones rooted in reality, and MJF certainly going there when he went there with the car story a couple of weeks ago, and going there again with his split from his fiancée, referencing it last night on Dynamite. Speaking of Revolution, we now know another team that's going to be competing for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. On last night's AEW Dynamite, the huge Revolution Tag Team Battle Royale to determine which team would challenge for the titles at Revolution was held. In a title bout that already has the champs and the Guns, and the champions of the Guns, rather, and the former champions, the Acclaimed, the pair of teams will be joined by two more teams who will be selected via Battle Royales. The first, the Revolution Tag Team Battle Royale, occurred on last night's episode of Dynamite, and it was a wild one. With so many teams, there were plentiful enjoyable spots. However, in the end, it came down to Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal and the best friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta. When Taylor was eliminated first, an assist from Orange Cassidy prevented Beretta's feet from hitting the floor. The best friends were still in the match. However, in the end, it was Jeff Jarrett who was able to finally eliminate Beretta after Satnam Singh made a save of his own to keep Jarrett in the match and secure the victory for his own team. The fourth team to join Jarrett and Jay Lethal, as well as the Guns and the Acclaimed, will be determined by a Casino Battle Royale on next week's edition of AEW Dynamite. So Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal will continue their pursuit of the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Maybe they might win the titles for the first time at AEW Revolution. Of course, they thought they had previously, but there was shenanigans, referees, all that kind of stuff, so they didn't win the titles. But maybe they'll do it at the upcoming pay-per-view. Chris Jericho versus Ricky Starks is also official for AEW Revolution. Strange logic involving this one, considering Ricky Starks has already beaten Jericho. Whatever. Nevertheless, Chris Jericho and Ricky Starks have been feuding for quite some time, but Starks has been unable to get another one-on-one contest with the former AEW World Champion since defeating him on January 4th. Starks' luck turned around on the most recent episode of Dynamite, however, after some goading from the former FTW World Champion. Jericho agreed to face Starks at the Revolution pay-per-view on March 5th, with the added stipulation that all members of the Jericho Appreciation Society will indeed be banned from ringside. Jericho offered Starks a spot in the Jericho Appreciation Society, but the offer was declined. Starks then bested Jericho on Dynamite, leading to a beatdown by the JAS that saw Jake Hager powerbomb Starks through a table. Starks has been wrestling various members of the JAS since then, but outside of an unsuccessful gauntlet match, Starks has been unable to get his hands on Jericho again. Starks wrestled an entire gauntlet match against the other Jericho Appreciation Society members, only to be blindsided by Jericho at the end of the match, costing him all of his hard work. Starks said that he is, quote, not impressed with the former ROH World Champion. He said, quote, I don't see anything that everyone else sees, he told Bleacher Report. Back in December, Starks unsuccessfully challenged for the AEW World Championship against MJF at the Dynamite Winter is Coming TV special. Jericho was also on the losing end for a match that evening when he was bested by AEW rookie Action Andretti in a shocking upset. Of course, Revolution will take place on March 5th in the Chase Center in San Francisco, California. So that match is now official. Again, the lead up to it is bizarre. I want another match against the guy I beat before, and I'm jumping through hoops to get the guy that I beat before. Wouldn't it be Jericho that would want the match instead of Ricky Starks? I don't know. Logic in pro wrestling. Lance Archer is back in action weeks after he was complaining that he wasn't wrestling, and it wasn't by any choice of his own. It was certainly a bit of a random graphic announcement. Lance Archer was announced as returning to action on this week's edition of AEW Rampage. While it remains to be seen if his general absence from television is addressed during commentary or via backstage segments on Rampage, obviously glad to see the Murder Hawk monster back in action. He recently made a bit of news when he spoke about his time off television as not by choice. There is a big card set for Rampage, but as ever, obviously there are spoilers out there right now. We're not going to go into them here on the channel or anything like that we usually only break that raw if it's really, really, really newsworthy, and again, it's not worth going into this week, certainly. But good to see Lance Archer's back again. He was saying recently that his AEW absence wasn't his choice, so clearly someone's made the choice to bring him back, which is great to see. So Lance Archer will be competing this Friday night on TNT on Rampage. Forbidden Door. Yes, we have heard recently Tony Khan speak that Forbidden Door was going to happen this year, but we hadn't had an actual date or any more details regarding it. We don't really have a location either. Now, Tony Khan's big announcement on Dynamite was not the announcement of AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling's Forbidden Door 2 event, but a date may have accidentally been revealed for the pay-per-view. On AEW Dynamite, Khan did announce that behind-the-scenes experience in the form of a reality TV show. God, I hate reality TV, by the way, and that's called AEW All Access. That's coming in March of this year. Meanwhile, the cable TV company Spectrum has an interesting upcoming show listed on their schedule, along with AEW Revolution on March 5th and AEW Double or Nothing on May 28th. They also list AEW Forbidden Door on June 24, 2023. So maybe, just maybe, that could be the date of the pay-per-view. Of course, the first Forbidden Door pay-per-view took place on June 26 at the United Center in Chicago, so it would be roughly around the same time, which again does make sense. Khan has recently stated that AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling are looking forward to doing it again, but hasn't revealed when it would likely be taking place. In December of last year, Khan had reflected on the first AEW New Japan Forbidden Door event in an interview, describing how it was challenging, but he felt that it was overall a success in every conceivable way, especially when it came to gate receipts, when it came to pay-per-view buys. New Japan and AEW were very happy. So, as is the case when anything is a success and anything makes money in pro wrestling, they're going to do it again. And it looks like they're going to do it again on June 24th, 2023. Is it going to be at the United Center again? I don't know. But certainly, it looks like they're going to be doing it again. Steering back to AEW Dynamite last night on TBS, we had an All-Atlantic Championship match, and the Blackpool Combat Club kicked off Dynamite with a bang as Wheeler Yuta challenged Orange Cassidy for the AEW All-Atlantic Championship. With a mid-match redirection due to sheer violence from Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta kicked up to a new level as a brutal battle ensued. With a very physical contest nearly exhausting the pair, the 20-minute time limit loomed as the match even included some face spitting. A wild series of near falls as Yuta kicked out of an orange punch and then subsequently a beach break, but finally was put away with a second and even more ferocious orange punch. After picking up the victory, Orange Cassidy retained the AEW All-Atlantic Championship, with Taz on commentary specifically mentioning Wheeler Yuta's edge after the talk from Castagnoli. After the match, Orange Cassidy reached out for a hug from his former best friend. However, when Castagnoli came to the ramp and commanded Yuta to leave, he obliged and joined Claudio on the ramp to celebrate instead. So maybe we're seeing a darker, more vicious, more angry side of Wheeler Yuta, who seemingly, of course, is going to be involved in the Ring of Honor television product going forward as well as the Ring of Honor Pure Champion. So maybe this is going to be a storyline that sort of spills over into ROH television with the Ring of Honor World Champion and the Ring of Honor Pure Champion. Maybe they're planting and sowing the seeds for that in the future. Max Caster, whenever he does his entrance, nobody is off limits and everybody tends to get hit, don't they, by Max Caster's freestyle rap. Ahead of the match between Lee Moriarty and Big Bill and the Acclaimed, Max Caster made his typically hilarious entrance complete with a rap. While Caster took shots at each member of the team, his comment for Big Bill was particularly interesting. Caster rapping that Bill's girlfriend sent him a text divulging that he is SAWFT in reference to Big Bill's previous WWE gimmick with Enzo Amore. Of course, that duo had a big signature entrance of their own, with Enzo Amore covering the crowd, the hyping duties in their WWE pairing. I don't think this is leading to Enzo Amore coming into AEW. Lord knows they don't need any more people on that roster, particularly people like Enzo Amore, so don't think that's going to happen. Although there are similarities and parallels between Enzo and Cass and the Acclaim, certainly when it comes to their entrance. Maybe that's about it, but I don't think Enzo's coming into AEW anytime soon. The AEW Women's World Championship match has been announced and revealed for Revolution. It's official. AEW Women's Champion Jamie Hayter will be putting her title on the line against Ruby Soho and Saraya at the Revolution pay-per-view on March 5th at the Chase Center in San Francisco, California. Following Saraya's victory over Sky Blue on Wednesday's episode of Dynamite, Jamie Hayter and Dr. Britt Baker DMD ran down to the ring to prevent Saraya and her ally Toni Storm from spray painting their signature L on blue. As the pair retreated up the entrance ramp, Ruby Soho appeared on the stage and expressed her intentions of challenging for Hayter's gold. Hayter and Baker talked to Tony Schiavone later on in the show, and Hayter rattled off the reasons why she wants to face both Soho and Saraya in the ring. She explained that she's been going back and forth as to who is more deserving of a title match at Revolution, but ultimately decided to give them both an opportunity because she feels confident that she'll be able to hold on to her title. Hayter and Baker have been at odds with Saraya and Storm for the past few months. Soho was dragged into the middle of their issues, but made it clear she doesn't want to get involved. Of course, this is one of many title matches and one of many matches in general that have been announced for Revolution as we get closer and closer to the pay-per-view later next month. Finally, we have an update on Mercedes Monet signing with a talent agency. It's been a big couple of weeks and a big couple of months, I suppose, for Mercedes Monet. She's been the talk of the wrestling world this past week when she made her return to the ring at the New Japan Pro Wrestling Battle in the Valley event. She defeated Kairi to become the second ever IWGP Women's Champion in the show's semi-main event, her first match since she and Naomi walked out of Raw back in May of last year. During her time away, Mercedes has dabbled in various other interests, and it appears as though she's looking to continue in expanding her brand. Variety is reporting that Mercedes Varnado, Monet, the former Sasha Banks, has signed with the UTA talent agency. Per Variety, professional wrestler, actress and model Mercedes Varnado has signed with UTA for representation in all areas. The agency will help her secure new opportunities across film, television, theatre and more. Varnado is most recognised for her work in WWE under the name Sasha Banks. She exited that company in 2022 and now wrestles under the name Mercedes Monet. In January 2023, she appeared in New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 17, which helped the company generate over 900,000 new users, the most in New Japan Pro Wrestling world history, and sell over 25,000 tickets, which marks the highest ticket sales for a non-WWE live event in the last 3 years. In 2019, she made her acting debut in Season 2 of the hit Disney Plus series The Mandalorian, where she played Cosca Reeves. She's made several appearances on a number of unscripted shows, including Nick Cannon Presents Wild and Out, Hot Ones, Barmageddon, and Cold as Balls. She's also led national endorsement campaigns for such brands such as Pizza Hut, Cricket Wireless, and Pure Life. Venado is an ESPY Award winner and is widely regarded as an athlete whose contributions helped revolutionize wrestling at a high level. In 2021, she made history as the first African-American female to headline WrestleMania. Prior to joining WWE, she wrestled on the independent circuit. While a part of Chaotic Wrestling, she once held the Chaotic Wrestling's Women's Championship title. She also had over 8 championship reigns during her time with WWE and their development NXT, where she's a former NXT Women's Champion, a 5-time Raw Women's Champion, and a 3-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. She also won the SmackDown Women's Championship in 2020. She will continue to be repped by her advocate, Kevin Undergaro. So there you go. She's very much going to be busy this year in all forms of entertainment. So Mercedes Venado signing up with a major talent agency. But there you go, guys. That's the latest AEW news for you. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe bottom right-hand corner. Remember, you can join the WN365 roster by clicking that join button, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.